10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, welcome back to another edition of the Rising Coaches Member Spotlight. Today, we got our good friend Rayford of Tennessee Prep. Coach Rayford, what's up, man? How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. Can't complain, man. Just thanking God for the many blessings.
Where are you? You're on campus right now?
Yes. So, good news today. We actually moved to a bigger location. Tennessee Prep just moved to 52 acres of land as of yesterday. And I'm excited about it, man. So.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear all about that. Before we get into that, though, let's talk, learn a little bit more about you,
right.
Your background. Maybe tell us, kind of where you grew up and how you got into coaching and basketball.
Right. So for those that don't know, I'm from Newburgh, New York. Newburgh is about 45 minutes north of Bronx, New York. So born and raised in Newburgh, come from basketball legacy. My father is a big time coach in my community back home in Newburgh. He's been doing it for about 35, 40 years. I can't put a true number on it, but, I come from, a coaching background, and, it's led me to this place here where I am today.
So at what point did you know you wanted to coach? Did you grow up knowing you wanted to follow in your dad's footsteps?
Thinking when I was about 12 years old.
Yeah.
I remember my dad, driving down 95, I-95. We're going down to South Jersey, driving over to Connecticut. And I'm just watching, how he interacts with, certain coaches and, players. And I'm like, man, my dad has an ability that, I'm gonna take from him.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what steps kind of led you to your first job? Did you obviously play growing up, right?
Correct. So I played for my father with the Newburgh Zion Lions basketball organization. Again, very competitive program, but he's given me an opportunity to coach when I was 17 years old, and I had a team that was 10 and under. So that was like my first opportunity when I was 17, working for my pops in his program. And that experience at 17 years old, orchestrating, dealing with parents, putting together, the trips and traveling to games and just, orchestrating practices. I've been doing it really since I was 17 years of age.
And then what was your first, other than working in your dad's organization, like your first college coaching gig?
Right. So, man, I was my first college job was Ulster County Community College. And it was rare because I had no college coaching experience, and I walked right in as a head coach. I'm a former graduate of Ulster County Community College. But once I graduated, I've always sent student athletes back to school or over to Ulster Community College where, my name was still, live on campus after I graduated. So athletic director at the time, Deb Sofaro, giving me an opportunity when I was 24 years of age to coach at Ulster County Community College in Stone Ridge, New York.
Were you ready? I guess no one's ever ready, right? Were you?
No.
What kind of lessons did you learn quickly?
I've learned so much, man. I mean, just being on a college campus, being able to orchestrate, different relationships on campus. I've always had the recruiting ties because, the AAU background with my pops and the community from Dutchess, Ulster, Orange County, where, I'm from. And now, picking up a big pipeline out of New York City allowed me to become successful right away at Ulster County Community College.
So I know you coached there for a little while. You eventually got to Norfolk State,
Right.
where you guys had a great run. I think,
Right.
Did you go to FIU for a year or two after that?
I was at FIU probably about 6 months. I wasn't there very, very long.
And then you left the college ranks to start Tennessee Prep. Is that pretty
No,
accurate?
so there's a gap. I
Okay.
left the college ranks to go obtain my master's degree in special education.
Okay.
So I stopped coaching because I wanted to learn how to teach our kids on the court. And I thought about it. I said, if I could teach students with disabilities, I should be able to teach anyone, and it's not necessarily a disability. It's, can you truly communicate with young people? And I just thought that going back to school to obtain my master's in special ed will help me become a better, teacher and a better coach. So I took that year off, and I developed Concord Prep in Charlotte, North Carolina. We went 35 and 5, I believe, something to that degree. I had some really, really good players when I went to the prep level. But that was I took a year off to obtain my special ed degree.
Okay. What during that year, as you're like going through those classes, are you like coming up with the plan of creating your own prep school? Like, was that always a goal, something you wanted to do, or is that something that came from that year?
It actually came from that year. It came from that year because I had an opportunity to set up a shop with someone I looked up to in my community, George Davis, down in North Carolina, and he was already in a prep school. And I'm like, if I can add the education component to the prep school, that'll make things a lot easier for me, being able to get back in and coach.
So what were like? Tell me how. All right, so you do your year at Concord, and then Tennessee Prep is the next year.
Yes.
So tell me how like Tennessee Prep started and formed, and like everything. Like, I want to know how you figured out the gym space, the living. It's a lot that goes into creating a prep school, right?
Correct. It's a lot of legal stuff that you have to do. There's a lot of background stuff that you have to complete. Like, everybody starts up a school. You see a lot of startup pop-ups, but the biggest thing is really like learning the true intricacies on how to like put the prep school together. And it's more than just basketball. It's the academic part and so many other parts that go right into it. So me creating Tennessee Prep, I had a longtime friend who's from Memphis. He's no longer a part of the Tennessee Prep, but he was responsible for giving me the idea of bringing the prep school to Memphis, and had a great opportunity to sit down with basketball royalty here in Memphis, right on the campus of Lemoyne Owen College. That's where Tennessee Prep broke ground. So I had a chance to meet the president, Coach Will Anderson, who's currently there, many others at the table, and I pitched the idea that I can get the prep school off and running right away, and we got it done.
So what was like? Well, first of all, why Memphis? Like, what was appealing about? You're a New York guy. You're in Charlotte. Like, how do you end up in Memphis?
Memphis is actually, was on my radar, but I never thought in a million years how Rayford would be in Memphis. Being from New York, living on the East Coast, I never thought I'll be in Memphis. But when I thought about basketball, everybody stops through Memphis. Memphis has players. They have, the best trainers that I've seen, guys that really know the game of basketball. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, I can make it work because nobody has what I'm going to create here, and we've been doing it since 2015.
Yeah, I guess like on the East Coast, you've got all those like traditional prep schools that have been around for 100 years. You don't really find that in the South as much, do you?
No. I mean, you get a few here and there, but it's not as many as North Carolina, Virginia. You go up to New York to the NEPSAC. You got prep schools that have been around for a very long time.
Yeah. And then I thought the like move to house Tennessee Prep at Lemoyne Owen College was like genius, because that seems to be like the stumbling block for most startup prep schools is
Correct.
they got 12 kids living in one house, or, there's always something with the housing situation or the gym space. You got, your kids in the dorms using the gym right next door and the cafeteria right there. All the facilities are already, ready made.
Right.
How did you what was the sell to them?
Well, when I was at Concord Prep, we were on the campus of Barber Scotia College. So the same setup was already at Lemoyne Owen College, where it's like a one-stop shop. And, when you're coming from a big city like New York, or you're coming from Charlotte, I'm looking at Lemoyne Owen College as a gold mine as far as putting a prep school there, being able to sell a college campus, so on and so forth. I mean, just being in a major basketball city as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess for them, it just helps, fill gaps in their enrollment. Anytime they're selling dorm space, that's good for them, right? Is that the sell for the school, or?
It's a catch-22. I think when you're bringing students from all over the country on the college campus, that attracts the local community that want to attend. So, that was a genius part of, the officials at Lemoyne Owen College bringing, someone like myself that can pull numbers from all, major cities.
So you get the deal done. So you got the gym space. You're housed at Lemoyne Owen.
Right.
Now you got to recruit some players, right?
Right.
And that's the easy part for you, right? That's the part that you do.
It's easy, but you have to have the right people around you. So my first big hire when I got, started the school was Rob Johnson. Rob Johnson, if you know who he is Atlanta's, best specialist trainer. Rob Johnson is it. So, that was my first big, hire at Tennessee Prep, because I knew he knew the game. He studied the game and he recruits the game too. So, oh, shit.
We lost Coach for a second. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. Hopefully we'll get Coach Rayford back on here in a second. I think he's having some technical difficulties. All right. Well, while we're waiting on Coach to get back on, I guess I'll talk. Yeah, he just sent me a message saying he's logging back in now. So he'll be back with us shortly. While we wait, make sure you check out risingcoaches.com. Sign for our membership. If you're wanting to connect with coaches year round and really build genuine relationships with coaches at all levels, check us out, risingcoaches.com. It's $120 a year. You get access to all the content that we built up over the course of 10 years, amazing speakers, clinics, X's and O's, career development, everything. And you also get the opportunity to interact, like I said, and build relationships with coaches at all levels. To see where our members have gone through their career over the years has been unbelievable, and definitely the most rewarding part. Coach Rayford's back on now, so we're going to bring him back here. Coach, you with us?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. Something just flicked it off on my computer.
It gave me a second to improvise. I had to plug our membership real quick. So
I got you. Okay.
It was all good. So yeah, you were saying you hired Rob Johnson,
Right.
which helped with the recruiting front. But yeah, I remember just like as early as that very first season of yours, I was just a couple hours up north at SEMO.
Right.
You guys had a loaded team.
Right. So that year, just speaking on that, when you said loaded team, when I spoke to Rob a couple of days ago, we have 7 pros that came off that team, like guys that are making money overseas. You know, one of the guys you recruited, you know, Romani Henson, he's overseas making money, and we have Jordan Giles making money. So, you know, just seeing those guys grow up, man, is big for our program.
And Taj is about to make some money. He's in his last year at USC. Although I guess he'll get an extra year, won't he? So,
well, we're pushing Taj to go, man. You know,
he's got to be like 20, 25, 26. Yeah, but he's having a great. He's had a great career and is having a great season at I think he's the starting point guard at USC.
He is. He is.
So
second leading scorer, you know, leading assists. So he's doing a very good job.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and it seems like each year you guys have gotten more and more talented. It wasn't like one and done. Like you guys really, it's been cool to see you guys really, really build it and each year become more established to now, you know, I got to imagine you guys are, you know, recognized as soon as you get into a gym and all the tournaments, like people know who Tennessee Prep is, right?
Correct. So, you know, when I look at the years, you know, you say, you know, year 1, then going to year 2, where we had Will Mangum, we had 7'3" Chris Sodom, we had Alex Torres, Tyrese Patterson came on. You know, we had some really, really good talent come through. And then, you know, the 3rd year having Damian Ball and Tavion Cullum, those guys, man, Brandon Nicholas, Denver Jones, like we had some dudes, you know, as you look back through the years, we had some guys come through the program.
What's the formula for you when you're evaluating and recruiting? Obviously, you want talented dudes, and you have that, but your guys tend to have a little bit more toughness than most. Is that something that you look for when
I go out? The first thing I ask is, can these kids survive in Memphis? You know, a lot of kids are coming from all over the country to come to Memphis, and the first thing I'm thinking is, if this kid can survive here in Memphis, they can go anywhere and thrive. And the biggest part is looking for the toughness, but seeing if they have a tough parent that's going to push them, helping me try to achieve their goals. So it's me working with the parent and seeing the parent perspective on where their child wants to be.
Yeah, because you coach them once they get there. Like you really, really coach them hard. It's awesome. Like it's like a college practice, you know, and you run it like a college program. The guys are in weights, they're in study hall, they're multiple workouts a day. It's awesome.
So, you know, right now with COVID, we're not getting as many reps as we would right now. So right now we doing our best during these times, but typically, man, we 3 times a day. You know, when I look back at when I worked for Anthony Evans at Norfolk State, it was 3 practices a day, man. You know, weights, skill development, and then team practice. Then we had film study. So it was like those same principles that I learned from Coach Evans, I brought down to Memphis. And that's a part of our success, is being able to not have too much downtime.
Yeah, and like you said, your guys translate to the next level probably because of that. They're already used to the schedule a little bit, you know. So it's a great testament to what you guys are doing. Tell me about the new campus.
So we just moved to Limit Breakers Church here in Memphis. Very, very young pastor, Pastor Donald Walker. Him and I, we met, and his vision for young people and my vision for the school, it just meshed very well. So we really literally just moved in yesterday. So where I am today is, you know, our new home. Our students right now some of our in study hall, have some students, you know, working out with our trainer. So beautiful situation, man. I love for you to come down and check it out. Campus is really beautiful, man. Like this whole setup is very, very nice.
Are you still like in the downtown area, or where is it?
So we're in East Memphis.
East Memphis, okay.
Literally, I would say 5 to 8 minutes away from the airport. A lot closer than where we were. So really nice place. And we have a young leader here at the church where, you know, he's pushing my guys to be, even better than what they were. So.
Tell me about Minnesota Prep.
Oh, Minnesota Prep is on fire, man. That our
Tell
program
me
in
about
Minnesota.
I never got up there, but I want to hear, like, at what point did you decide to, I don't know if you call it franchising this, but at what point did you decide, like, hey, we can expand and get a second campus going?
It's not until I went to Minnesota, Donnell, the pastor of Minnesota Prep, and Lucas Patterson, our AD and head coach, they came down to Memphis a few times, but it's not until I actually stepped foot on the land to actually see can we start a prep school in Minnesota. And the meetings went well. We sat down and we orchestrated it. And now Minnesota Prep is, this year, they're very tough, a lot of talent. But meeting with Donnell and Lucas, they had the whole setup, and it's not, like I said, not until I stepped foot on the ground and really realizing it's only one Division I school in the state. Where, when I looked at St. Paul, Minneapolis, I looked at all this talent. I'm like, it's only one school, Division I school. Let me take that back. Division I school, and there's a lot of Division I talent in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, it's funny. You found two cities in Minneapolis and Memphis that have great basketball that are kind of a little underrated in terms of, like, recruitment and opportunities.
Right.
So you guys have found, what's next?
Continue to build what we have. A couple of things that's happened in most recent time. I had a chance to coach pro basketball overseas with my body of work and all the different guys I pushed to the next level, and girls. Right now I'm at 178 young people that I pushed to college on full athletic scholarships since I've been in Tennessee Prep. So, I had a couple of job opportunities pro to leave Tennessee Prep and Minnesota Prep, but my heart is with these kids and developing them so they can be successful at the college level.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, what is this, year 7?
Well, 7 for me, coaching at the prep level, 6 in Memphis. This
So
is
year 6 of Tennessee Prep.
Correct.
What about, like, talk to me a little bit about the struggles or the ups and downs or just the lessons learned about not just coaching your own program, but, like, running your own business.
Relationships, a lot of times, I really take pride in making good relationships. But a lot of times, people come with different motives, to try to increase who they are or their stock and take away from the school. My biggest thing is, like, I really listen to what people say and how they respond to, our conversation and see if it's coming from a good place. But that's, like, the biggest piece that, I've been dealing with is, where is your heart really with the kid? Because ultimately these kids are going to, pour their hearts out to you. And, coaches can break kids easily. But also, if the kid doesn't buy into the system, that's another whole topic that we can discuss. But everything really is about relationships.
Absolutely. So what's next for you, Harold? You said you had some opportunities to coach professionally, but it just wasn't right. Do you see yourself at some point coaching professional basketball or going back to college, or are you really happy at the level you're at?
I'm happy here. I've always wanted to get back into college coaching. Honestly, it's in God's hands. I'm real big on early childhood development. So my 2 babies, my daughter 5 and my son 2, I want them to have the enrichment of their education rather than pulling them from one city to go to another. If I hop back into the business, I want to make sure that my children have an opportunity to, thrive where we are right now. And if the Spirit of God leads me to making that jump to college basketball or professionally, I'll just have to sit down with my wife. That's my other business partner.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure, everything lines up with what Kristen wants to do and, take it from there. But I mean, I love the game so much, Adam. I study film. I watch coaches all the time. You know, Brad Stevens runs some really good stuff, and you know, you just watch these coaches, and you know, even coaches on the rising coaches, like with all the platform that you help, you know, continue to build. I look at coaches when they put up stuff on what's that? The video where you can drop. Yeah, there you go. So, you know, when they drop into these videos, I'm like, man, we got some brilliant coaches. So I take some of their stuff and I add it to my program, and, you know, I just constantly watching film and bringing it to the court immediately. So if I see something new, like my high school guys currently have 57 plays in their playbook. Like anytime I see anything new, it's like, and my guys like to be challenged, like constantly learning and learning from other coaches, you know. That's
well,
where
and the thing, Harold, that sets you apart, you know, X's and O's aside, that's always great and important, but your guys play so hard for you.
Mm-hmm.
They love you and they let you coach them hard. I mean, you really get those guys to compete and compete all the time, that gives you a chance to win every single time, right?
It does. It does. So 2 years, you know, we have 2 national championships at Tennessee Prep. 2016 team with Rob Johnson. We won a national title, the NACA National Championship. In 2018, when I look back, man, you're right. These guys compete very hard. They're aggressive, but it starts with preseason. It starts with the one-on-one sit-downs and really getting to know, you know, how can you push this young man to give you his all? So that's the key to it, man. Just building that relationship with the kids, and you know, you come here, you're gonna have to work.
Well, anybody watching, make sure you hit Harold up. Go visit them in Memphis at their new campus. They've always got players. Harold's one of the best out there. So whether it's for a player or not, just a great person to connect with.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Adam. And
yeah.
You know, I've really been promoting rising coaches. You know, it's giving me opportunity every, you know, Final Four to network with new coaches, you know, see where their brains are. So, you know, the platform that we're on right now, man, is red hot. You know, I've seen the numbers grow. I see, you know, a lot of folks, you know, joining in, and I think it's cool, man, that we have a network of coaches that we can reach out to, and you know, we all living life, and we want to make new friends. You know, you want to, you know, just continue to build who you are, but you can't do it by yourself. And I think the platform is allowing, you know, guys like myself to network and build with other coaches, young minds.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And that's what it's all about. You know, this profession and this craft is hard enough.
Right.
It takes a toll. So we need to pool together as many resources as we can. So that's
Right.
the idea. And I'm glad you're getting some value out of it, Harold.
No
and appreciate you being on today. I know you got to get back in the gym in a minute, but
right.
Appreciate your friendship over the years more than anything, man.
No question.
Happy for you.
Thank you, Adam, for having me.
All right, man. Take care. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.